What's up, guys? So another video, second one in this orange robe. I don't know. I just literally wear this around sometimes, and I don't know. Maybe it gives me good ideas. Maybe it has something to do with like the chakra. I have no idea. It could just be random, but yeah. So today I want to talk a little bit about career and I just make videos about different topics that are coming up like in my life like with people I know, friends and whatnot. And this is like one that's like I think at least three people I'm very close to are like having big issues with this. Three that come to my mind right now. And I just want to talk about it, right? So I think in my book, I forget all the stuff I said. Honestly, I haven't read it yet. I was gonna wait like 10 years before, 5 or 10 years before like I really read my book, just to have it be like a very trippy moment. But I think I probably say something along the lines of like how important it is. Like someone gave me this quote, like that the artist is someone who is able to craft their life in perfect alignment with their like inner goals and make like everything that they do for work and everything that they do for like in their day-to-day life like very aligned with like what they love to do, right? And what they care about, like what they love to do slash what they care about. Let me get a little bit of coffee first. I waited again for my coffee today, which is like crazy. Feel like a virgin. Never mind. But I do feel like a virgin waiting for marriage when I wait 2 or 3 hours before coffee. I'm used to having it like right away. But anyways, so that is like what I've always thought about. Like I've always kind of seen like a lot of people in different situations. So there's lots of factors that are at play, right? There's obviously like the economic one, is that's like the main, like where you're at economically, like what you can afford to do, right? So if you're someone who's like in a situation where like a lot of people like won't like this because they'll be like, hey, I don't have a choice. I have two kids. I have a job. Like I can't just like take money out and like go switch jobs and careers and go to my dream job. And I get it, like everything in life is karma to some degree. And it's not about having good or bad karma, right? Like there's no such thing as good or bad karma. It's all karma that we chose, right? So whatever life circumstances you have, whether that is like being like with kids, even if it's like really difficult life circumstances, to some degree you chose that, right? You chose to have that challenge, which is like if it's a very difficult one, you can kind of think of yourself as like being a very advanced soul, because only like a really good player in a certain sport, for example, would take on like a very difficult level. Or if you're in a video, if you're really good at a video game, would you like try to beat level 99, which would obviously be harder than level 10. So you can kind of pat yourself on the shoulder and see that as like a big karmic test that you've taken on. I regress. So back to what I was saying, we in career, like you want, like if you are able to at some point, like a lot of people I think kind of have to grind, like have a lot of karma until they get to their first Saturn return, around 30 years old. And then more and more free will comes in, right? More and more awareness for a lot of people comes into the equation. When they start to grow spiritually, they start to say like, maybe that corporate job or that job that like, and not to say all corporate jobs are bad. I know some people are very, very satisfied with the structure that they give. Maybe, they're like able to use their creativity. Maybe it's something they genuinely like love doing, like, and like that, like you can never put a limit on how, excuse me, throat, on how important it can be to have structure in your life. Especially if you're someone like me who like, doesn't have any earth in their chart, like having that consistency can be a great thing. It depends. It really is a person to person thing. But when you really look inside yourself, at some point you have to get real with like the question of like, what do I want to do? And we live in this is like such a true thing. We live in such a limited world, right? We live in a world where like I wish that there's like 1,000 more different types of jobs than just like psychologist, counselor, like, I don't know, like the types of jobs like astrologer that have to do with, like probing into like the psyche of someone, and helping them improve from a mental health kind of spiritual standpoint. Like there's such a limit to those, right? But really that's just because of that's the way our society is. And I think a lot of people on this page, or a lot of people that I run into, are people who are like meant to be here to in some way help out humanity, right? And when you have that type of calling, like even like the calling to like watch a video like this, or to come to my page, or to come to like other pages of different people that speak up about different topics similar to mine, you probably have that innate like quality, that innate like calling to be of service in some way, to do something that's like helping people, whether it's like helping them like raise their consciousness, or directly helping them, right? There's different variations. For some people, it might be like being like a doctor. For someone else, it might be working for like nonprofits, and using their skills that they've worked so hard to develop, for people that are, there's just like a million different ways. That's why there's not just one size fits all for career. But when I bring it back, when I try to give advice to people, I think you always want to have a plan, and you always want to be realistic. Like you don't want to be overly idealistic in the sense of like, you want to have an idea of like what like, for example, astrology for me, it's not sustainable. Like in terms of like this isn't like, if I had to rely on astrology to like make me to be like my money maker month after month, I mean, I could do it, but like the nature of an astrologer and doing astrology is very, very like, it's only a few people who can really do that. And honestly, like you really have to have like a business mindset about astrology, which I don't know, I don't really agree with, but that's like me, that's my opinion. And I don't know if I can really talk, because I do have like, that's not my main source of finances, so like I can afford to like make a video once every 2 weeks or whenever I feel like it, and not like advertise, even though I try to do my best. But I'm fine if I don't get like a million clients, even though I would love to like have clients, but it's more for like helping people. Of course, some of it's money, but it's not like it's not 1, 2, 3, or 4. So yeah, it's like you really have to like imagine, because like with astrology, for example, as I was saying, it's difficult, and so a lot of people have to have like the money maker, but have to have like a plan of like, how can this dream, how can you turn your dream into like something that's sustainable, right? So in my case, and I can just give my experience because it's like, relevant to a lot of people, I had to make a decision when like 5 years ago, between like ego, like kind of like power, like masculine, like all that, and just heart, like, so like there was like the one drive that was like way more business oriented, way more about like making money and creating kind of like I don't want to say power, but you know what I mean, guys, like just like doing business, international business, the Sag Moon part got hit by that. And then there was like going to this school and like learning about counseling and transpersonal psychology, and kind of like going deeper into like what was more in my heart of like, it's like a question between like, it was a question between like what I wanted and what I needed, right? What I wanted was, of course, like a fun, interesting career where I could like, succeed and showcase creativity and skills, whatever. But what I needed was like something where I could have like connection with people, like be able to like help people learn skills, like, whether it is through psychology, which, I continue to get better and better at, and closer to the day, which is coming when I feel, like boom, like I'm starting like my like full on like just like counseling practice. I think that, those days, like it's maybe a year away. I'm doing this like final step, because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of pressure, when you're like working with someone psychologically. Like there's so many different things they can throw at you, and I want to be like prepared, to deal with whatever once. That's why I'm doing like all these extra courses and this thing called formation. I don't know how to say it in English, but the point is like, I knew, even though I was young, I knew that like one of those was like draining and was gonna maybe take me to like a end like that, but maybe not. And the other one, like, there was a real need for that in society. There's a real need for like helping and for doing things that are just good for people, not really thinking too far ahead. So I just like went with that. And that was like really the first time I made a decision like that in my life. And yeah, it just really has paid off. because like in that time since, I've learned so much about myself. Like they always say it's the journey, not the destination. God, I'm like as red, very red. As red, orange is this thing. They always say it's the journey, not the destination, but like it's so true, because when you're learning about these different topics, or when you're learning about different people and about their depths and their secrets and their, just like insecurities, you kind of understand more about like what it is that makes us all human, right? And to me, that's really valuable. Like I learned so much about myself through understanding how, like, the depths of other people in ways that, like, I don't think most other careers give you the chance to. So that was what was important to me. And I learned that, like, I could have learned that through my birth chart, which I did with the 8th house sun and lots of other things. But like, getting your birth chart understood through the perspective of career is super important, because if we look at mine, I'm just like a good example of this. It's like, okay, Sag moon, that's like variety, right? It's like culture. It's like, so like that's also needs to get hit. So as Pisces sun is like the healer, Sag sun is like the explorer, the cultural explorer, the adventurer, right? So how does that get resolved, or how does that need get hit? And by doing content like this, and hopefully more in the future, just like free content that's like not really like, I don't even know how monetized. I don't even know about, like, I'm not like thinking about the monetization part of it. More about just like creating content that's a little bit different than I do now in the future. That's like the real goal for like the Sag moon part, and then the Pisces sun part gets kind of rewarded by like just helping people in general. So yeah, it's pretty much different for everyone. You really have to look into yourself, be honest with yourself. As what I'm doing now, or the course I'm on now, is that sustainable? Is that something I want to keep doing? And then what, if not, what are some careers, what are some plans of actions? Definitely like having your birth chart worked on or understood, can definitely give some answers and some clues, because you can start to see, okay, and like that, I'm not saying like that's just like through getting a reading. That can be through self-study too. Self-study can be the most like powerful way to really get astrology, if you're able to study it in a way that's correct, I guess, because there's lots of bullshit astrology out there, and a lot of people make the mistake of just taking stuff from here, but they don't just get like 1 or 2 or 3 books that just like connect everything and teach you in a sequential order. But yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to say. Is just like I feel like a lot of people are kind of having second thoughts with their vocation and their life path and what they want to do. And I'm really grateful that I made that decision years ago to kind of go in this direction, because I know that no matter how hard or how bumpy the waters get, I'm always gonna have like something that's like help close to my heart, that's like that's like where I'm able to like make a difference. I'm able to like learn, and it just meets well with the goals outlined in my birth chart. So I don't know what that is for you. That's for you to know for yourself. So that's about it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'm curious if any of you have been having these types of thoughts lately, and what some of the resolutions have been for you. And also like, yeah, like if you're struggling with these, with like thoughts about career and next step and whatnot, and maybe like what what your birth chart might excuse me might say about that. Anyways, that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. It's been your second vlog. I'll be back in a week or 10 days or something. All right, bye-bye, and Happy New Year's, guys. Happy New Year's. Okay, ciao.